But then anyway, we get back to the aircraft, and I look at the form, and the guy walks up and he says, "I got him filled, all top up to the top." And I says, "Well, do you remember me saying I only wanted 200 gallons in each tank?" I says, "We don't want all this weight. 200 gallons to get us to our base." He said, "Well, there's your gas anyway," he says, because we were furnishing the gas over there. But I told the pilot, we climbed aboard, and I said, "Well, I got bad news." I said, we're full up to the top. We got enough gas to go back to Germany. And I told them, but I won't hear. And they filled it up. They said it was our gas anyway. And I said another thing. I said, they want me to pass the word on to you, several of them. They want you to give a little flyby before you leave the base. And the pilot says, "First, we're going to try and get it off of the ground." That's all he said to me. And I didn't know what he was going to do. He didn't say. He didn't know, I guess. But anyway, I know they started it up and they taxied it back as far as it could go at the end of the field. Didn't try to get a runway because they weren't long enough for a B-17. But they checked out the 3 engines and they pushed them as far as they could forward, and him and the co-pilot, they held the brakes and revved up those engines until it wouldn't stay still. It was ready to go. Then they let it go, and they gave it full power. And it was a good thing they had that little extra ump that the crew chief had put in them. And we just barely cleared a fence and a hedgerow that hid the fence. But he got it off of the ground and then had to level out right away and fly about, it looked to me like 3 or 4 foot off the ground, but it was a little higher than that because it did clear some small trees. And he kept it that way and flew straight right on for a ways. He got a little more airspeed, and then he started climbing. And he went in a circle and then climbing and climbing and climbing. And when he started circling, I figured, well, we ain't going home. Maybe he's going to do this thing. But he never did say until he got it where he wanted. And he come in with that thing like a pursuit plane. He'd come down there and he leveled that thing off right down the runway. And I don't think it was over 3 foot off the ground. It looked to me like he's right on the ground. And that crowd roared. I could hear them, all the noise in the plane. Believe it or not, I could hear them screaming. And the whole base was out. So we put on a pretty good show for him. And he pulled that thing up like if it was a pursuit, and then he leveled off right away. He kept his airspeed up. He knew what he was doing.